stars. Nasty press weasel Jason Kanuf went on 60 Minutes Australia to shade Harry and Meghan out and, of course, kiss up and suck up to Prince William, Kensington Palace, and the whole royal family business, otherwise known as the firm. However, in the comments, there were remarks made that make it clear public sentiment's tide is turning. Maybe now that Kate is healthy and we see what's really going on with Prince William and Kate Middleton being in separate places most of the time, right? We see how far King Charles stayed from Kate at Commonwealth Day. We also see that there are no Queen Consort Camilla and Queen Consort to be Kate Middleton events. You would think the one would mentor the other, but And now the public feels brave or empowered enough to share just what they've been thinking over the last year when we were all worried about Kate Middleton during her long 9 months of disappearance, right? One person replied to little Jason Kanuf's fork-tongued appearance by saying, "Kate did not have cancer, period. An open secret. Even the palace press can't keep it straight whether or not it was precancerous cells or cancer. Kate was being accused of being racist, and they needed to clean up her image, and the royal family needs public sympathy. There was an ambulance dispatched to Sandringham December 28th of 2023 while they were there for Christmas. There were reports that William and Kate had terrific rows," that means fights, "where they screamed at each other and threw things at each other. Then, when they were supposed to be out of the country in Italy, I believe, she had a surprise planned abdominal surgery. I believe William was violent. Her reputation was sinking, and they had to protect William and her as future king and queen consort, and they made this about a severe illness to avoid questions or blame for alleged racism and other behaviors that the press was addressing. I like Kate. I don't think Kate had cancer. I think she got hurt, and I think she was pressured to lie because the press was saying negative things." Kate didn't, in fact, have cancer. That was used for 2 reasons. 1, the press was hounding them for being racist. Kate's reputation was flailing. Also, there were reports from insiders that Kate and William were having violent fights, including throwing things at each other and screaming at each other. An ambulance was dispatched to Sandringham 3 days after Christmas 2023, then had a surprise planned abdominal surgery while they were supposed to be out of the country. I think something happened. Many people do. They have mixed up their story many, many times. Whether it was precancerous cells or cancer, Kate recommending laying out in the sun during chemo, what hospital she was being treated at. It's all just a confusing mishmash of contradictory claims and very few facts. We just hope that Kate's okay. Another comment. I'm from the UK, and there's something odd about Kate's cancer. In that video where Kate announces she has cancer, it was obvious the scene was unreal, as daffodils did not move. They didn't sway in the breeze, and there's no record of her having cancer treatment in any hospital, unlike Charles. Next comment. I don't think Kate has or had cancer. I believe this is their way of easing their way out of the monarchy, because they recently announced that William has cancer now. What? They try to get people sympathy and make people accept their decision of leaving the monarchy. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Where have I been? I haven't seen any reports of William claiming to have cancer now, too. In my opinion, Kate lied about her diagnosis. They needed a sob story, dramatic enough to cover up the racial allegations. And cancer was convenient. It kills questions. They took that chance in trying to cover up all of the lies they have told over the past year. They have made it very clear that they were being dishonest. I believe that it was a dual purpose, that a few days after Christmas 2023, tensions were out of control. There were reports of them throwing things at each other and screaming at each other, and Kate was hurt. William had to be covered at all costs. Kate has new, severe scarring by eyeball. An ambulance was dispatched to Sandringham last Christmas. Then she had a planned surgery while they were supposed to be out of the country. Then they announced she was at the London clinic. Now they say she was at the Royal Marsden. William has been seen swaying and slurring. Ah! Next comment. It's not bullying. It's the problem that the English can't do facts in the face. They want you to tiptoe all over and never say what you need or want. I'm married to an Englishman, and I know. They had to throw focus off William with his little indiscretion, and what better way than to make up crap about Harry and Meghan? That sounds entirely plausible, especially with little Jason Kanuf, so eager to please Prince William, so just ready to tell whatever story and get after Princess Meghan without, to this day, providing any proof or files or emails that would make it clear what actually happened. Meghan Markle won that court case. Jason Kanuf is still ducking and dodging and ducking, sneaking off to do 60 Minutes Australia and still not being held accountable for what could be a pack of lies. Is William being silent out of dignity? Or the reality that there are things that William needs to hide? If there was any truth to what they said about Meghan, why would the palace refuse to release the report? Meghan wants it released. What is the palace hiding? Is the image of William real? Is he really a devoted husband? Is he really a devoted father? However, not a devoted brother. Not a very nice man, one hears. Right? Rest in peace, Thomas Kingston, who apparently was partying with Prince William the night before his unfortunate and suspicious demise. Next comment. I find it hard to listen to those people. It is all lies. Scarface has left this earth December 2023. The new Scarface is her double. Now, this is an outlandish comment, but there are and have long been a group of people who say this is the case, that Scarface is no longer with us. And I think that that's possible. I personally don't want to believe that. But when we think about the nanny Maria, who is now long gone, right? She was very visible raising those children up to and including 2023. Now gone. No statements, no explanation, no nothing. I think it was very wise of Nanny Maria to hightail it out of there, maybe back to Spain. She might know the proverbial too much. Some fishy is going on, and it wouldn't be the first time that suspicion and bodies piled up around this particular royal family. Next comment. No one can answer this. How did she not lose any eyebrows, any eyelashes, any hair, look gaunt, pale, weak, like poor John Benet Ramsey's mother? She had cancer, and she lost all of her eyebrows, all of her eyelashes, all of her hair. She was completely bald on an interview about her poor daughter and wore a bucket hat and showed her head. She wasn't vain. She was pale, no eyelashes, and no eyebrows. Yet Catherine never lost any at all. She must have some special chemo. I never saw that. Ever. Also, she has a more youthful appearance. No under-eye bags or anything. Very strange. She is not even lagging or gaunt or weak. That does not make sense at all. No one can explain this. Amazing how she looks so much more youthful after the absence. This is just from seeing photos and videos. No one comments on this. And, not everyone with cancer loses hair. Take this series of comments from the public on this Jason Kanuf interview with 60 Minutes Australia as an indication of the temperature among members of the public, that the seeds of doubt, what the public has been noticing, and what they're now starting to feel safe to say in public. The specter of cancer is in the past. And indeed, what are the excuses for the ongoing lack of work from Kate and William? They work the equivalent of 2 weeks out of the year. And that's every year, not just the cancer year, every year. This year, they didn't even make the BAFTAs. And 9 out of 10 times, Kate and William are at events separately for an hour, maybe 2 hours if you include helicopter travel time.